So what is a brand anyway? I think most of us have heard that term. Of course, it came from, cowboys when they would brand cattle back in the day. They get the hot iron prod and put their mark on the cattle. But of course, it's evolved to mean something else in business, and it's a term you hear a ton. But what is it? What's a brand? It's the personality of your organization. If you were going to describe your best friend, what's he like? Who is he? And you had a few sentences to do it. It's the same thing for a business. What's the company all about? Who are they? So just a few examples of brands that we've all heard of. Nike, and their slogan that most of us know is just do it. So their brand revolves around, hard work, not being afraid, the idea of victory and winning, just sort of all around excellence in sports. And you think about the people that they've had represent their brand over time. You think about Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods, just sort of people that were at the top of their sport, the top of their game at the time. Another really strong brand is John Deere, the tractors and farming equipment. And they have the brand or the slogan that nothing runs like a deer. So their brand is built around reliability. It's built around really just an association with kind of a rural lifestyle with farming. It is built around family and tradition. Another strong brand is Rolex, and their slogan, which I actually wasn't even familiar with. I don't think I'm in the target market for a Rolex, but it's a crown for every achievement. So of course their brand is luxury. It's achievement and excellence. It's a status symbol. It shows that, look what I've accomplished, look what I can afford, that I'm just going to put on my wrist. It shows that accomplishment. Apple is another strong brand. Think different was a very famous campaign and slogan that they used for years. So the idea is innovation, thinking outside the box. They used a lot of people that were successful, but were also kind of rebels that didn't, kind of fit the mold for what people expected or what society expected. Harvard is another great example. They, of course, represent excellence in education. They represent the most intelligent, the most capable, the highest achievers. If you hire somebody from Harvard, or that they're gonna have their stuff together. So that's a really strong brand as well. Another brand is Nintendo. So Nintendo is, you think, family friendly, fun, nostalgic. You think of iconic characters like Mario and Link from the Zelda games, Kirby. So that's just their brand is built around being together and fun and tradition. Some really strong brands, but I wanted to use this to illustrate that there are negative aspects to how we think of brands as well. Nike has all those positive things that I just talked about, but a lot of people also think, child labor or sweatshops or, things being put together in third world countries when they think of Nike. John Deere, I know a lot of people have the opinion that they're overpriced, that you're paying for the name. Rolex, a lot of people might think that it's silly to pay $20,000 for a watch, that you're just trying to flaunt your wealth or something like that. So any of these brands that are great brands, there's also another side of the coin. So a brand isn't just what a company wants you to think about them. So your brand, whether you're a company or an individual, your brand exists in the minds of your customers and potential customers, and really anybody that has heard of you at all. They have an impression. They have things that they think about you, probably some good and some bad. So that's where you get into, companies are always trying to figure out what do people think of us? What are some of the ways maybe we need to change? And you get into something that's called rebranding. We're perceived in this way, but maybe we want to be perceived like this. So we set out to change that brand. We set out to change people's perceptions. Another really important concept with branding is that it's not just marketing that impacts branding. Every single interaction that you have with a company kind of creates their brand in your mind. Customer service is one of the biggest things. If you have a bad customer service interaction, no matter what their commercials are saying, or their marketing, no matter how great they're making themselves out to be, you just had an experience that was maybe the complete opposite of that. That's going to have a stronger impact on their brand for you than any of the marketing they're putting out there. It's the same thing with, does the product or service do what they say it's going to do? And if it does, if it matches up, or even if it exceeds your expectations, that's great. That's really building a strong, positive brand image in your mind. But if it doesn't, if the product, they're claiming quality, they're claiming excellence, and the product falls apart or the service just doesn't hold up, that is an extremely strong experience that's going to build the brand in your mind. And it could be, for the company, it could be in a positive or a negative way. So there has to be consistency with a brand. It's the message you're putting out there, but then also are the things that you're doing, the things that you're building and creating and offering as your services, are they consistent with that message? So I hope that helps you understand that concept of a brand. It's more than just a logo. Your logo is part of your brand, but everything that your company does is also part of your brand. Your website, your social media accounts, your products and services, your customer service, every single touch point creates that brand. So I think that's incredibly important to think about, if we have that consistency throughout how we're operating our businesses. So once again, I appreciate you watching. Hit the subscribe button below and have a great day. Thanks.